My new album is called The Vehicle, and it actually took 16 working days to do the whole album from start to finish, and that includes recording all the songs with the band, overdubs, and then mixing it and mastering it, kind of like the way they used to do it in the old days. Guitar. I handpicked everybody that played on this album. It started with the rhythm section, a guy named James Gadsden on drums, who I'd met a few years ago when I was doing some blues gigs. And he's played with Marvin Gaye and Diana Ross and just loads of incredible people. Bill Withers, he played the drums on that really cool song, Use Me Up. And then there was Reggie McBride, who played bass. He's also from Detroit. He's played with Rod Stewart, Stevie Wonder, just Elton John, all kinds of people. And I thought if I could get these two together, it would be my dream to have them play on an album. So I got them. Then I got these really cool young guys to play keyboard, this guy named Luke Miller. And he's really young, but like incredibly old school and an old soul. And then this guitarist named Sam Meek, who's the same as Luke, but he's from North Carolina. Really cool, kind of southern feel, but edgy as well, and really funky. And we also got this great guy named Johnny Lee Shell to play guitar, who's played with Bonnie Raitt, and he's just brilliant. Growing up in Detroit has everything to do with the way my music sounds. It's a part of me. I mean, I grew up listening to Stevie Wonder and the Supremes and the Four Tops. It was part of my soul and still is. And this album is a deliberate return to my soul roots. I've had the privilege and honor of working with some of the most amazing artists of all time, including Bob Seger. That was the first thing. That was my big break. Then it was Leon Russell. I had his pictures all over my wall in my bedroom, and I said to my mom, I'm going to sing with him one day. And she was like, yeah, right. Well, then it was Eric Clapton, and that was truly amazing. I would say working with Eric was probably the most incredible experience, because that was my first kind of foray into being taken seriously as a songwriter, and my first big chance. So that was just fun, just fun. What can I say? I mean, some crazy things happened, and that's got to all come out in my autobiography, which is about 95.98998% done. But it was incredible just to be singing these arenas, going from singing to smaller places to playing in front of 120,000 people, and 5-star hotels didn't hurt either. My new single, Good Girl Down, is based on my life. It's autobiographical. It's everything I've come up to until this point in my life. It's about relying on people who say they're going to come through and they don't. It's about being beaten down and then coming back up, because after all, I am the thing that wouldn't go away. It's hard to pick favorites on my album because I love all my songs. They're like my babies, and they all mean a lot to me. They're all about my life. I think if I had to pick, I would say Good Girl Down, which is the first single. I also love Practice What I Preach, because it's kind of really self-deprecating. I'm always telling people, how to be happier, what to do. And one day I realized if I only listened to my own advice, I'd be a lot happier myself. I'd say my songwriting process has changed a lot in the last 10 to 15 years. I mean, I used to start with an arbitrary idea like a melody or a lyric or something, but I found that I'd get painted into a corner. So then I started to work with titles, and these were things that people would say, like a simple phrase, or I'd hear something on TV that would inspire me, or something in a movie. Then I would take this title, and it would have to be something I really felt strongly about, so I could draw a lot of information from. So I'd start from there, and I'd build around there. It would be like putting a puzzle together or something. It was a really fun process for me. I love working that way. I produced my Vehicle album myself. The three of us, me, myself, and I. And when it was finished, I feel like mixing. Things can get lost in the mix. I remember when the songs were going down, it was like, wow, this is sounding great. When it came to mixing, it was like, oh God, what happened? So I asked James Gadsden, the drummer, can you recommend somebody to mix the album? So he recommends to me this iconic guy named Reggie Dozier, who is the brother of Lamont Dozier, who is from the famous songwriting team, Holland Dozier Holland. All the Motown songs were created by them. And Reggie was around in the Motown days, and he helped mix some of that stuff as well. He's done modern stuff too, like Jamiroquai and Joss Stone, so it was a no-brainer. We got together and we gelled, and he made it sound incredible. The story behind my album, well, it's called The Vehicle, as in music is the vehicle. I remember when I was about 19, I was sitting in a park in Detroit. I just came out of a bad relationship, and I was playing, and I looked up at the sky, and I said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I have, and it's been an incredible journey. Music is the vehicle of my life. I've worked with some amazing people. It's taken me all over the world. I've done some amazing things. And that's what this album is about. It's about my journey up until now. At times it's serious, and at times it's funny and humorous, and I'm poking fun at myself and at the world. And at other times it's just, me, it's very plaintive. And I don't know, to me it just kind of sums up everything that I've done up to now in my life. It took me a while to grow up as an artist because I was focusing my energies on so many other people. How can I make them sound good? But now I feel like I'm at that point where I know who I am and what I want to say as an artist. Well, during the Shakespeare Sister recording for the second album, it was always understood that I was going to do my own album because Siobhan wanted to take a break. So during that time touring, I was writing songs for my Jewel album. I have always aspired to being my own artist in my own right. It just wasn't the right time, and for whatever reason, the universe was saying, you're not ready, and now I feel like I'm ready. I've always wanted to do that, but it just wasn't the right time, and now it is. I don't really have a favorite. I have probably 5 favorite songs that I've written. I can't really pick one, sorry. But I think my top 5 are Lay Down Sally, mainly for what it meant to me as becoming like this viable songwriter. Stay with Shakespeare Sister. My song I Believe for my Jewel album, I'm really proud of that song because I wrote it myself, and it was something that really meant a lot to me at the time and still does. And then 2 other songs from that album, The Art of Melancholy and also James Brown. But I also have to say Good Girl Down because it really means a lot and says a lot about who I am today and made me what I am today. I hope you're going to enjoy my record. It was a deliberate return to my soul roots. I wanted to do it really old school. I wanted to put some space in it and feel that spontaneous magic that you only get by playing with real players.